Welcome to day 34. So I check my volume here. Looks like it's good. All right. So day 34 is going to be a fun day because we're going to do some different things that we haven't done in a while. And the key concept today is making it real. Okay? So everything we've been practicing for the last couple of weeks, especially when it comes to the multiplication and division, and especially when it comes to decimals, we're going to apply that to real world situations. Okay? Real world is in as real as it can get for you. Okay? Fifth graders out there. So before we do that, we are going to do the exit ticket from yesterday, day 33. So day 33's exit ticket was 81/100ths divided by 3/10. So to do this, it's going to involve shifting the decimal over one spot, which then shift the decimal over here one spot. Wherever you do the divisor, you must do the dividend. Okay? So this is what it actually looks like after you make all the shifts. Okay? You have 3 out here, and you have 8 1/10 out here in the dividend. Okay? So we do 3 goes into 8 2 times. 2 times 3 gives you 6. Okay? 8 minus 6 gives you 2. Bring down your 1/10. 3 goes into 21 7 times. So therefore, 7 times 3 gives you 21. And therefore, there's nothing left over. To check yourself, I'm going to do 2 7/10 times, where am I? Times 3. Okay? I'm sorry, yep, I was right the first time. Times, so it's technically 2 7/10. Right? Times 2 7/10, which is the official answer, times 3/10 is going to give you 81/100ths because there's 2 decimal places, 1, 2. Okay, 7 times 3 gives you 21. 1 goes there, the 2 goes up here. 3 times 2 gives you 6 plus 2 equals 8. And there's your decimal point, showing the dividend, which is what I started off with. A little trickier, but take a good eye here because you're going to need to know this. You don't want to make the same mistake. If you made a mistake on the exit ticket, take the time to figure it out now because you will continuously make that mistake over and over and over again. Okay, so day 34. Here are your options, okay? Option number 1 is record all of this information, okay? Option number 2 is to go into Google Classroom where I have a document that has all of this information, the first page of it, okay? So we are multiplying and dividing decimals, doing both with food. Apple pie, pumpkin pie, cherry pie, pecan pie, lemon brownie, s'mores bar, shortbread, CC cookies, cocoa cake, vanilla cake, cocoa cupcakes, and vanilla cupcake. Okay? And we have the price of it, this is prices, by pie and by slice. So, like I said, your options are to either record all of this down, so hit the pause button now, okay? Or go into Google Classroom and you'll see the document posted there. But you're going to need it for these problems. So here we are with number 1. How much would 4 dozen s'mores cost? Okay. So, I'll allow, because I can for the first 4 problems. S'mores. 4 dozen s'mores. So here's the s'mores. A dozen is $9.87. How much is 4 of them? So go ahead and figure that out now. I'm going to hit the pause button and let you figure it out. So the setup so far should look like this. $9.87 times 4. I'm going to hit the pause button again and have you continue. Okay, so if the answer for this first one is $39.48. When you do 9 9.87 times 4, or $9.87 times 4. It'll cost $39.48. Number 2, how much would 6 dozen CC cookies cost? So hard to see maybe, but CC cookies, a dozen, not a cookie, but by dozen, 1 dozen is $6.55. Okay? How much would 6 of them be? So you're doing $6.55 times 6. Go ahead, hit the pause button to solve that now. Okay, so we have the answer being $39.30. Remember, 2 decimal places here means your solution should have 2 decimal places. So $39.30. Now, if somebody were to maybe use a calculator here when they shouldn't be, they might have gotten the answer of 39 3/10, which means the same thing. But it's not what I'm asking. So for this question, I should see $39.30 as your answer. If not, and I see this, I'm going to maybe assume you used a calculator. Okay? So let's go ahead to number 3. How much would 3 pecan pies and 2 apple pies cost? 3 pecan pies and 2 apple pies combined. Okay? You have pecan pies, which cost $13.86 a pie, and we're doing 3 of them. And then 2 apple pies, that's $9.95 times 2. So you'll solve for this, and then you'll combine your answers to find out how much it costs altogether. Hit the pause button now to solve. Okay, so the answer for this one, when you solve for it, you should have gotten $41.58 here for the pecan pies and $19.90 here for the apple pies, and you combine them to get $61.48. Wow, that's a lot of money for pies. But these are homemade pies, so it makes sense. Very fresh. All right, let's move on to number 4. So at number 4, I want to know the difference. Okay, if I were to buy some vanilla cupcakes, so how much do you save by purchasing vanilla cupcakes and purchasing a dozen compared to if I were just to buy 12 individual cupcakes? How much am I saving? Okay, so I want to do this 12 times, finding the difference between this answer that I do 12 times compared to a dozen, $11.53 dozen. Go ahead and set it up, and we'll see if your setup is just like mine. But hit the pause button now. Okay, so the setup here is $2.15 per cupcake times 12 cupcakes. I'm going to get that answer, and then I'm going to subtract the dozen. And that'll tell me how much the difference is. That'll tell me how much I'm actually saving by just going ahead and buying the dozen compared to trying to buy 12 individual ones. All right, go ahead and solve this one. Okay, so I've gotten how much it's going to cost for 12 dozen individual cupcakes, which is $25.80. Whoa! If you use a calculator here, yes, you would have gotten 25 8/10, but it should be 25 80 hundredths. Minus that from the 11.53, that's just for if I were to straight up buy a dozen. Then you'll find the difference. Do that now, if you have not done so yet. So the difference here is going to be $14.27. Way cheaper just to buy the vanilla cupcake dozen altogether. I mean, I could buy 2 dozen for the price it would cost, more than 2 dozen, for the price it would cost to get 12 individual cupcakes. All right, so let's go ahead to number 1. Before we go to number 1, of the division decimals, there is a number 5 if you're looking at that sheet, Google form sheet in Google Classroom, but that's your exit ticket question. All right? All right, so for number 1 here, if there are 6 slices in each cake, how much is each slice of vanilla cake if you purchase it as a whole cake? So here's a whole cake, $14.76. All right, but I want to purchase. Don't get this confused between the cupcakes and the cake. This is the cake, not the cupcakes. So I want to find out how much each slice is if there are 6 slices in the cake. How much will each slice be? So that's where we're using division. So you're going to see how many times 6 goes into 14 and 76/100. Do that now. So if you did your division correct, you would find out each slice of vanilla cake is $2.46. Number 2, how much does each lemon brownie cost when you buy them in a dozen pack? How much, so if I buy in a dozen, how much does each vanilla lemon brownie cost? So lemon brownies are $7.44 for a dozen. If I want to find out how much each of the 12 dozen costs, I have to divide it by 12. Go ahead, do that now. Don't forget your 12 times tables. Okay, so for each individual lemon brownie, it's going to cost 62 cents. Okay, make sure you brought your decimal up. Make sure you did 12 going into 74 6 times. 6 times 12 equals 72. Subtract, you get 2. Bring down your 4, you get 24. And 12 goes into 24 2 times to give you 62 cents. Number 3. How much does each pecan pie slice cost if you buy the pie, and there are 8 slices in each pie? So pecan pie costs $13.86. And I want to know how much each of those 8 slices cost. So I'm dividing by 8. Go ahead and do that now. So I'm not going to show you the answer yet, but this is maybe where you got stuck if you're stuck. So yes, this is a silly problem and we don't have amounts less than this, but I still want you to go through and finish out finding out the rest of the decimal places. So make sure you go ahead and do that by breaking new decimal places. So the answer for this one is 1 and 732 thousandths, 5 10,000ths. It's a challenging one, but I challenge you to go past what you're comfortable with, the thousandths place, into the 10,000ths place, a 6th grade skill. And realistically, we would probably just round this to $1.73 per slice, because 4 and below, you let it go. All right, last problem before your 2 exit ticket questions. Bailey and his best friend split a slice of pumpkin pie and a slice of apple pie. So pumpkin pie and an apple pie. How much do they each pay for the slices? Go ahead and set this up now. So here's the pumpkin pie. All right, we're dividing it by 2 because there's 2 people. I want to know how much one person spent on this pumpkin pie. And then we have the apple pie. We're dividing it by 2 to find out how much that is. And then we're going to combine the 2 costs to find out how much each person spent. Go ahead and do that now. So let's say for Bailey, his half a slice technically of the apple pie would be 99 cents. And then his half a slice for the the pumpkin pie, this was the pumpkin, for the apple pie was 8 75 hundredths. 875 thousandths. Okay? Which is not really an amount yet that we know of, right? Because we go down to pennies. But we want to now combine this number plus this number to find out how much does Bailey spent, or how much his friend spent. Go ahead and do that now. So the combination of the 2 is going to be 1/865 thousandth, which is not a real amount, but it got you to help you practice getting into the thousandths place. I would probably round this up and say $1.87 is what each student spent. All right, Now go ahead and do your 2 exit ticket questions. Best of luck.